Hey everybody, Weird here. Today we're going to take a look at BioWare's latest game, Dragon Age Origins. There won't be any spoilers, so don't worry. In this type of game, I hate spoilers because the story is everything. If you've ever played BioWare's previous games, like Baldur's Gate and Mass Effect, you'll feel right at home in Dragon Age. It's like the two of them went out on a date, had a little too much to drink, and 9 months later, here we are. I will tell you a little bit about the story. As is standard fantasy fare, there's an ancient evil that has arisen, and once again is threatening the world. You have the common characters like dwarves and elves, and of course magic. Beyond that, Dragon Age takes a life of its own. The writers of BioWare really outdid themselves, and it shows. This is a much darker world than normal fantasy, and is incredibly detailed. A good chunk of my time in the game has been spent reading, which really helps with immersion. That's all I'm going to say about the story, as to avoid any kind of spoilers. When creating your character, you can choose different starting storylines. I, for example, chose a dwarf commoner. This isn't just a choice to add flavor. You will have a unique path leading into the main storyline. Even after that, the starting choice will continue to influence dialogue and interaction throughout the game. What would a BioWare game be without companions? During your adventure, you will pick up allies you can take along with you into battle. They can be micromanaged, or you can just let the AI take care of them. You can also set tactics for each one. So for example, if someone in your party's health goes below a certain point, that pet will cast a heal. This really helps them feel more than just pets though. Of course they are not soldiers. You can interact with them too. They will also approve and disapprove of your actions, changing your relationship with them. Dragon Age can be played in two distinct views, the first being the traditional overhead view, and you can also view it from first person. You can easily switch between views by using your mouse wheel. I tend to use the first person when moving around and then switch to the overhead view for combat. Combat is also very similar to Mass Effect in that you can play it in real time and pause it whenever you want to issue orders. Switching characters is as easy as clicking on them or their portrait. When controlling them, you'll have access to their skills and equipment. So yes, you can take your allies' equipment for your own, and I did that within a few minutes of entering the game. Dragon Age also includes a crafting system. You're able to make poisons, herbs, and traps with what you collect throughout the game. So far, I've only made a couple of poisons which you put on your weapon and they'll cause things like nature damage and other types. Traps look pretty interesting too, although my character doesn't have that skill yet. I think you just place them out in the world, and when the enemies come try to get you, they'll trigger the trap, mostly area of effect, so that could be really useful. I've also seen some mentioning of being able to enchant weapons. I haven't got to try this out yet, but it definitely adds another layer of complexity, which is always good in RPG. The user interface is also pretty slick. The game will throw a ton of information at you, but it is easily accessible through the codex. It'll even record your conversation with NPCs. I know at least once I've had to go back and reread something an NPC said to help guide me to the quest. The game will also take screenshots at certain moments, which you can have automatically uploaded to BioWare's new social networking site. What would a game be these days without achievements? There are plenty to be had in Dragon Age if, like many people I know, you are a completionist. I try to get them, but I'm not going to spend a lot of time trying to unlock just one or two. If they occur during the course of the game, then great. The graphics are pretty good for the most part. It is a very bloody game. Seriously, blood is everywhere. I even saw weapons that have a messy attribute, so it can get even bloodier. The graphics in certain parts of the game do feel a bit sloppy. I've seen enemies falling through walls, and my weapons seem to hover on my character's back. This is especially noticeable with shields. Some armors also seem to clip with other items. While it isn't a big deal in the scheme of things, I expected a higher amount of polish from BioWare. Overall though, it has been a fun experience. I really have not gotten that far into the game yet, and I've been playing for hours. For me, that is a sign of a good role-playing game. If you like these kind of games just a little, you should really check it out. Alright, this is enough talking. I need to get back into the game. See you later.